My name is Renato Carregha. I am the CEO and founder of Tegger, and I'd like to talk to you today about an important problem in digital advertising. Today, 77% of digital ad spend goes towards search and social media sites, whereas users only spend around 36% of their time on those sites. The reason for this is that search and social media have much more accurate data to target advertising and content correctly. That makes a site such as Facebook have 2.6 times a better click-through rate. That means the conversion of impressions to clicks than the average ad on the Google Display Network. These ads also convert clicks to dollars almost 10.3 times better, making them simply a more compelling case to invest in. Tegger gives content sites software and information to better know and monetize their audience by sharing with them intelligence on who their audience is and tools to engage this audience with content catered for their interests. It works in the following way. A user signs up to Tegger without needing to download any software and on the partner site and starts providing information as they browse on the content site, getting rewards for doing so. They can also fill out surveys on themselves to get additional points that they can convert for prices. Sites and advertisers get precise data and software to know who the audience is so that they can better target content and advertising to these specific audiences. And finally, brands can place their products on our marketplace to get new users as affiliates in exchange for a fee. We currently are present on 4 content sites, including Latin America's leading native digital content site, and are in the process of getting on 3 more. We have more than 18,500 users who have already traded in their points for rewards over 40,000 times. We've also seen that our users browse more deeply and more recurringly than non-Tegger users, which is valuable to sites in and of itself. We have a fantastic team to get this to the next level. I have experience in the blockchain space in aligning incentives for different stakeholders via token models, having founded Mexico's first cryptocurrency investment fund. And our CTO has founded a digital product in Colombia. We're also backed by a group of talented developers and data scientists and have strategically placed advisors in the digital media and digital product landscapes. We're currently raising a pre-seed round and would love if you can join us in creating a fair data revolution. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Saba, guys, what do you think so far?
We're going to let Michael kick off this one. What are your thoughts, Michael? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm happy to. Yeah, wonderful pitch. Really like the visual nature of it. It really did help certain things come to life as far as like how you're setting up your ecosystem and how the solution practically works.
Sorry, we're not seeing the picture in here, by the way.
Oh,
yep. Yeah. He's going to be on in a...
just in a minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys have some quick feedback or review of what you think?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just have a question about the exchanging points boards on different sites or with different partners. Like, I'm just kind of curious about what you're hearing from your users about redemption, if there are any frictions or any challenges that they're facing. Is there a product that they want that they can't redeem it for? Just want to get a little bit more signal on that.
Gotcha. Don, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to better understand the incentives here. You know, certainly it seems like there is some value for me to share my browsing history and my conversions, but I'm just curious about what that hurdle is to get real value, and maybe perhaps what is that currency conversion, where it's like, is this a month's worth of stuff to get 1 gift card, or is that payback a bit quicker?
Awesome.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I'm in here now. Excuse me for the delay there. I heard both questions, and thank you for the feedback. So addressing the first question of how we get the rewards for the marketplace, what we're currently doing is working with brands that are targeting new users, and we're basically transferring the customer acquisition cost directly to the end user. So we're getting these rewards at no cost for Tegger, and we're giving the user the customer acquisition cost as a reward. So that's to answer the first question. And the second, in terms of how quickly you can get the rewards, it's relatively quick. We've priced them to kind of match our points to a dollar value, right, in the consumers or in the users' minds. However, you can get your first reward by browsing, say, 30 minutes. You could have a $5 gift certificate to a new product such as Uber Eats.
Great, thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I had a follow-up actually. Do you imagine this replacing traditional acquisition models, or is this something that works complementary over the long term?
If you mean for the rewards, I think it could be complementary. It's specific because our users kind of have to work for your reward, right? So it gives you users who have a very clear intent of trying out that product or service, or of acquiring it, which I think is valuable from a marketing perspective. However, if you want a super large mass appeal, right, it's not that quick to get new affiliates. It's more interesting, though, in my opinion, as a replacement for third-party cookies. I don't know if you guys are aware, but third-party cookies will be removed by Chrome in 2022 and have already been removed by Safari and Firefox. So in how we target advertising and content outside of social media, we'd like to be positioned as a key solution that can replace the cookie there.
Great, thank you.
So hey, Renato, great pitch. Couple of questions. First of all, any company that pegs themselves to other companies, I get worried about, because if they change the rules and what they do, like the Chrome example is perfect. That if I did something only with Chrome, then they can ruin the long-term scalability of my business. How are you thinking about that, real quick? Just how do you go? We can be a standalone tool regardless of the platform.
Right. So that's a great question. When we originally created Tegger, I had envisaged it as an add-on on Chrome, right? But I thought of the point that you're making specifically, and also wanting a mass appeal where you don't need to download software. So right now it exists as a script that is injected into partner sites HTML. And what happens there is that the script basically calls our software, right? So we can change it at the same time for all sites. Obviously, the limitation there is getting more partner sites on board. And the possible solution would be to create an add-on. However, you do add that little bit of friction in two things. One, users need to download software. And the second is we've kind of flipped the customer acquisition problem for end users, right? Because we're getting basically a free space on these sites that helps users know our product. So that would certainly make it a little more difficult in those terms. But then the challenge would be getting end users and not sites. So I guess it depends where you want your challenge.
Yeah, got it. Cool. Follow-up question. You don't have to answer it, but feedback at the same time. When I read traction like 18,000, I'm like, that's awesome. But I also kind of call like, okay, but tell me really like the daily active, weekly active, or the monthly active users. You don't have to share them right now with everyone here, but just know that it can sound really good, but if you don't share the other stuff of how active they actually are, it can actually make it seem worse. Because I'm like super curious to go, out of how many people registered actually used it.
Right.
So, I'd want to be seeing that people are using this every day or every week as a way to justify the traction.
Of course, that's a great question. We do have in weekly active users, we have about, if I'm not mistaken, 380 weekly active users. So not a huge amount, to be honest, but growing a little bit. And it's our main focus right now is to push that number higher.
Yeah. As a story, I'd love to hear that. Instead of going, hey, we got 18,000 people sign up, only 300 people using it actively. We need to figure out what the expectations were different to what's actually happening. We're going to work that out. Here's why we need funding or whatever to help us figure this out and stretch it out. So that honest story, at least for me and at Techstars, we love to hear that part of it, which is here's what we don't know. Not like you're smart and your team's awesome, but what are the things that you don't know that you're trying to figure out? So
Definitely.
Nice. Okay. We have one question here in the crowd that I'm going to shoot your way, Renato, when you're ready. But softball question. Is anyone else giving rewards to users in exchange for information?
Yes, that's a great question. And there's a lot of companies that are doing this from different perspectives. To me, the most interesting is the Brave browser. This is a browser like Chrome or Safari, where as you browse, you're getting points in exchange for seeing ads. But these points don't go directly to you, but rather to the publishers that you most frequent. There's other companies though, such as Keely is one. There's one called Big Token, and several different companies that pay you to complete certain tasks or to share information with them via surveys, email campaigns, etc. So there are. What there are not though, however, is a company that will, or rather, Tegger is the only company that will give you rewards both for browsing and filling out surveys without requiring you to download software.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around and viewing our first Party Pitchers Pitch event. Have a great rest of your night and see you in September where we will have 5 more amazing companies join us in the hut. Until then.